One night, just after harvest, I had been speeding up and down our lane. I passed the neighbor kids and did the cool head nod and winked at the ladies. I was having a blast. I went flying around the backside of our tool shed. I pulled the brake, turned the wheel, and tried to make the turn. But something went wrong. The three-wheeler began going up on the two outside wheels. I stood up and leaned the opposite way, but there was no stopping it. So I kicked it out from under me with all of my might and jumped the opposite direction, hoping it would land several feet away. I was wrong. I found myself lying on the ground, belly down, with a three-wheeler on one side of my head and the gravel on the other. The weight of the three-wheeler pinned me, and I was too small to move it. I kicked my feet and screamed as loud as I could, but it was no use. Dad was at the barn milking. My family was at the house getting ready to eat supper, and my uncle was out plowing the field. I was stuck. Didn't know if I was going to make it. A little later, I heard a faint tractor in the distance. Please let there be someone who can help. And the tractor became louder. And the next thing I knew, I woke up at the house in my own bed. Mom checked me over as she talked on the phone with the nurse. They said I would be fine after a little rest and some medicine. I thought, I made it. But how? How did I get out from under the three-wheeler? And my family told me what had happened. Uncle Bill had been out plowing the field as I rode around on the three-wheeler. He saw the three-wheeler flip over on me. It took him a while to get there on the tractor, and once he did, Uncle Bill single-handedly lifted the over 400-pound three-wheeler and threw it yards away before rushing me to the house. If Uncle Bill would have stopped to consider whether or not he could lift 400 pounds, what would have happened? He didn't second-guess himself, though. He believed in his ability. What if we trusted ourselves every single day, every moment, and didn't doubt? Say, you're thinking about asking the prettiest girl out on a date. Maybe you want to try a new career development event, an FFA, like prepared public speaking. Or you see a guy sitting by himself at lunch, and you want to become his friend. Go for it. Don't think about not being able to get that date or to win your CDE. Trust yourself. Don't think about what your friends may say when you sit beside that guy at lunch. You might be thinking, but Tyler, what happens if my friends laugh at me when I sit down? What if I get in front of the judges for my speech and they don't like it? Or what if my voice cracks when I ask that girl out? Stop doubting. When we doubt, we miss a moment to gain insight on what we're meant to become. That girl, she could be your future wife. Public speaking could become a career. And that guy sitting by himself at lunch, his life can be changed forever because of you. Trust yourself. After moving on from ATV racing, I wanted more insight on what I was meant to become. With ATV racing out of the picture, people continue to ask me about what I was going to be. Actually, I remember one day, very clearly, an afternoon 2 years ago. I was driving around in my hometown of Hopstadt, Indiana, in my Chevy pickup truck. I came to a T in the road, and I felt a strange feeling I should turn left instead of right. I trusted myself. After turning, an older friend of mine, Gary, waved for me to stop in. I pulled in my truck, hopped out, and we began to talk. His first question wasn't the typical Hopstock gossip or crop production I was expecting. His first question: Tyler, what are you going to become? I began to share some of my frustrations. Some of my friends just want me to get a job that stays close to home. A few mentors want me to go into business or politics, and other people want me to do other careers. As I sat there, speaking with Gary, I felt something pulling at me. It was trying to get my attention. It was tugging, it was calling, it was gnawing at my heart. I ignored it. I thanked Gary for waving me in, and I left. I walked away from that conversation, and something was different. I didn't know what it meant. This past summer, I realized that trusting myself to turn left wasn't enough. I needed to listen to something much closer than I had ever expected. We were midway through a conference for state FFA officers. My teammate, Zach, and I, late one night, were preparing for the next day. We had a meeting with our coach. We rushed down the hallway toward the meeting room. On my way, I noticed Devin, one of the state officers, sitting in the corner. He was all alone, with his head in his hands. I felt I should try to comfort him. I had a seat beside Devin, and I put my hand on his shoulder. He began to cry. Because he couldn't even muster up the voice to speak, he pulled out his cell phone and began texting what he wanted to say. He showed me his phone, and it said, "I don't know what to do. I don't want to go back to my job. I can't.